I need to, I got to. These dreams, I won't let them go. These faces don't faze me. I'ma get it on my own. Cause I ain't never asked for no help. I just did it by myself. Can't nobody tell me no, no, no. And they ain't gotta love you. Long as you just love you, you gon' be alright on your own. Straight up the dome.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Off the Dome Sports Podcast, your favorite sports podcast where two sports lovers give their hot takes off the dome. Shout out to Ezzy for that new intro song we got going on. Used it last episode. We really like it. We're going to keep it going. If you want to look it up, it's called Off the Dome. Pretty simple name right there.
Yeah.
Give them a listen on Spotify. That's Ezzy, E-Z-Z-I. If you're watching us right now on Radio House Studios, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, we really appreciate you. If not, it means you're probably listening in on newrockradio.us. Thank you for listening to newrockradio.us, not only right now, but 24/7, where you can find the best and your favorite rock music. Also listen in to newcountryradio.us. Over 1,000 songs in that playlist now. We're looking real good. It's got some great music. I love country music. You should too. Go ahead and give newcountryradio.us a listen. You can also find us on Facebook or YouTube at Off the Dome Off the Dome Sports Podcast. Twitter is Off the _Dome Pod. So it's Facebook and YouTube, Off the Dome Sports Podcast. Twitter, Off the _Dome Pod. Pod. If you're looking to sponsor the Off the Dome Sports Podcast, we'd really appreciate you. Shoot an email, studio@newrockradio.us, or hit us up on the Facebook page, newrockradio.us. Now past the business. Let's get into some business that got handled on Saturday. Business. How about them Tigers, baby?
Electric.
LSU Tigers. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you're a fan of. If you're wearing red and blue like this, probably a bad day to wear these colors, but hey, I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you're a fan of. Don't care if your name is Doug or Mason. Tigers absolutely destroyed Ole Miss on Saturday.
Yes, they did.
45-20 was the final score. I was in the stadium, and let me tell you, electric atmosphere.
Did you go on the field after the game?
No, I'm a little bit crippled, so I didn't want to risk anything. Feeling a lot better today than I have any day since. So maybe that was my sign that I should have went on the field. But I was also technically working, so
Yeah,
would have been a bad look.
Maybe next game you can get on the field.
Yeah, when they beat Alabama in 2 weeks, but we'll get into that. But yeah, down 17-3 early in the second quarter. Then they hit some sort of gear, outscored Ole Miss 42-3 over the next 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, I feel like LSU can only win if they go down in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean they have this problem where they don't know how to start, but they know how to finish.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Usually it's the opposite we see, but they looked really good. Really, really good on Saturday, especially for those last 40 minutes of the game. One guy who looked really good a couple weeks ago and then, again, looked good on Saturday, Jaden Daniels. We talk about him every episode, and that's because he's the starting quarterback of the Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers. You're going to get talked about, especially when that team comes up. He went 21 for 28 through the air, 248 yards and two touchdowns. It's a lot of twos, a lot of the eights, but, pretty standard day.
Yeah.
Pretty good day. Didn't make many mistakes. Didn't turn the ball over.
That's the key.
Yeah. Well, trust me, we're going to get into the turnovers. But not only through the air, but on the ground, he added 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dude looked like a running back on the ground and a quarterback through the air, a la Lamar Jackson. You can't
except Lamar Jackson yesterday.
Well,
we'll get there. Trust me.
But yeah, great day from Jaden Daniels. Running backs played pretty good. One of my favorite players on the team. I think he's a guy who just puts his head down, works, and you can see the production. Josh Williams, running back number 27, 17 rushes, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good day from him. Pretty efficient with the ball. Looked really good. And then one of my favorite parts that happened this Saturday, Armani Goodwin was back.
Yeah, and I called this.
You did call this. Really, really good athlete. Got handed the ball only 8 times during the game, turned it into 55 yards with a long of 19. So, he's just explosive. He's a really, really good athlete. LSU has like 4 starting caliber running backs.
Oh, yeah.
It blows my mind. Usually we're that wide receiver school. We might be a running back school too.
Yeah.
I mean,
we haven't been a running back school since what? Fournette?
Fournette and
God, he had a
Darius
great
Geis.
season. Him too, but
Yeah, Fournette had 2 seasons in a row where he was like unstoppable. My favorite game of Fournette I remember is that Syracuse game where he got handed the ball like 7 times and still ran for like 292 yards and 4 touchdowns or something.
my favorite was the Auburn game where he hurt both the safeties and then one of the backup safeties.
Oh yeah. And then there was, of course, that time against Ole Miss when he stiff-armed somebody and they literally went into Death Valley because they died. Leonard Fournette was a dog. But, yeah, we're seeing some good running backs now, too. I love to see when LSU can run the ball and pass the ball. Speaking about passing the ball, we shared the wealth offensively. I think that's something that's really important to a good passing game, and it's something we did on Saturday. 8 different receivers of the 21 receptions. Nobody had more than 4 catches. Similar to how you used to see Drew Brees pass the ball all around the block, would have
Lance
something
Moore.
like 9, 10 catches, 9 different receivers throughout a game. Jaden Daniels did the same thing.
Yeah, and that really keeps the defense kind of on their heels because, if you have one star player who's kind of standing out, like a lot of people thought Keyshawn Boutte was going to be this year, not really turning out. But I like to see all of our receivers getting touches on the ball and showing what they got.
Yeah. I think all the receivers, none of them are even including Keyshawn Boutte, who was a preseason All-American freshman last year, like standout guy. He's not really standing out this year, and I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that just kind of speaks to how good everybody else is too. Malik Neighbors is looking good. Dre Jenkins is really showing out these past couple weeks. He had that one catch on Saturday where it looks like Jaden Daniels throws up a duck going straight to a corner's hands, and then Dre Jenkins runs up for it, catches it, ducks 2 dudes, and walks into the end zone. So, we're looking really good. I love Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is one of my favorite players on the team. And, he's showing out. Only a second-year player, but he's playing really, really well. We alluded to it earlier, but the biggest key for LSU, we did not turn the ball over. I don't think we've had a game like that all season yet, including games against teams like Southern. We still would turn the ball over, but this week we did not turn the ball over once. Offense
might be like 2 years since we had a game with no turnover.
Yeah, I mean we like to give the ball to the other team. Apparently, I don't know. Kind of like Andy Dalton, but yeah, it's true. We did not turn the ball over all game, and that's something that's really, really key to these Tigers. And that's how we won by 25 points. That's still hard for me to grasp. Number 7 team in the country in Ole Miss, and we second half shut out them. Shout out to that defense.
Shout out to Vegas.
Vegas did have us as the favorites, and they were right.
I don't get it, but
And that's why they know more than we do.
yeah, must have saw something.
Yeah. Defense really stepped up in the second half. Penalties were killing us early. We had 2 pass interference calls on the first drive. Ole Miss went straight down the field, scored a touchdown. Next drive went straight down the field, scored a touchdown. I mean, they were making their way downfield with no problem. They went up 17-3 early, but like I said, that defense figured it out, and they shut them out in the second half. It's hard to shut out an SEC offense, especially one that's leading the SEC in rush yards per game. Ole Miss was averaging 271 rush yards per game before they came across the Tigers. So, shout out to LSU, baby. We looked good.
You know who else deserves a shout out?
Who else deserves a shout out?
The currently number 23 ranked team, Tulane.
Tulane Green Wave. Jamie, I don't know if you're on here, Mr. James Luke, but if you are, shout out to the Tulane Green Wave. I know you wanted to hear about them last time, and you're going to hear about them right now. They had a hard-fought game against Memphis. They went up early, and then Memphis started coming back, but Tulane figured it out.
Yeah, they won 38-28. They are also on a bye coming up.
Okay.
They will play again November 5th against Tulsa.
Interesting. I know Tulane's kind of in that position right now where they might actually win their conference.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say about Tulane because we haven't, almost our entire lives, we haven't known them to be very good.
I think if they win out and play a really good game against Cincy, which is their last game of the season,
Mm-hmm.
they might have a shot at college football playoffs.
I don't know about all that. I mean, if they go undefeated, well, no, they already lost the game.
They lost the game.
Yeah, they're a Group of 5 school. The only reason Cincy got in last year because they were undefeated. Tulane with 1 loss, I don't see it. However, they'll definitely make a really good bowl game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already in a bowl game now. They could lose out and still make a bowl game.
Might be looking at a Rose Bowl from Tulane.
That would be the craziest thing I've ever seen. If they get into, I mean, I don't know if they can technically get into the Rose Bowl because of like Pac-12 versus Big Ten or whatever.
Nah.
But if Tulane can get into a big-time bowl game, that would be really cool. Now, it would be even crazier if somehow, I don't even know if it's possible, but Tulane versus LSU in a bowl game?
Ooh.
Oh, that would be spicy. I would love it. But yeah, shout out to Tulane. They moved up from 25 to 23. The Tigers moved up from unranked to 18.
Wow.
Yeah, they moved up quite a bit. I guess that's what happens when you beat number 7 in the country and
By
storm the field
25.
after. Yeah, we stormed the field. That's right. We did. And, a lot of people were hating on it, but guess what?
I think it gave us an extra boost.
We beat the number 17 in the country as an unranked team. I know everybody's like, oh, LSU, act like you've been there before. That was an exact quote from somebody. But the thing is they haven't been there before. Of the 85 guys on our team, like 3 of them were on our national championship team. All they've known the past 2 years is winning 5 or 6 games. And then they come out and they're playing like this. You beat number 7 in the country as an unranked team. Had it been anybody else, they'd have no problem with them storming the field. But they're like, oh, LSU, 2 big branch. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, we won. Let the players celebrate. And LSU already said they have no problem paying the fine. They're proud of the win, as they should be. And the students got behind them. Why is that a problem?
Some people just hate to see us win.
Some people do hate to see us win. And you know what they're really going to hate? They're going to hate November 5th, 6 p.m. on ESPN when the LSU Tigers host the Alabama Crimson Tide in Death Valley. And the purple and gold wins it. They're going to hate it. They're going to hate it. But yeah, we have a bye week next week. So we go into the bye red hot. And then we'll come out playing a top 10 team in the country in Alabama. So, it's going to be tough. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to be a tough game. We're going to go into it, of course, when it gets closer, more in depth. But
I think if our defense shows up, just to sum it up, I think if our defense shows up that game, we win.
There's the past couple of years, there's been no shot we beat Alabama. We have not felt like we could beat Alabama. The last time we felt like that was national championship year. And before that, I don't even know.
The year before.
That's what you think.
I was
in
there.
your mind, maybe. Oh, in 2018? Yeah. Well,
it was loud.
It was loud. But yeah, we haven't really had a competitive game against Bama the past 2 seasons. Well, we did only lose to them by 6, even though we were like really bad. But I'm just saying, like, pregame, like, we didn't have the we can actually win this year. Both times we were like, yeah, it's not gonna happen for us. But this year's different. A lot of people are feeling. I know it's kind of like a big, like, oh, you have a bunch of momentum. Of course you're gonna feel this way. But I think we should.
Yeah, I think our offense has stepped up significantly past few weeks. I think that our offense can beat Bama's defense. The only question is, can our defense hang with Bama's offense?
That's a really good question, and we'll get into it when the game gets a little bit closer next week. I think college football is kind of all about who's hot and who's not, and baseball is just the same. Baseball,
if not more,
yeah, and that's something we're seeing coming to a close pretty soon. Because the AL and NLCS both just wrapped up past couple days. Just a little recap. I know we had Mr. Lottober on just a couple episodes ago, and we talked about predictions and whatever else.
Somebody's winning.
So I had guessed that the World Series, when NL and ALCS had just started, I had guessed that the World Series would be Padres versus Yankees. Lot guessed that it would be Phillies versus Yankees, and you guessed that it would be Phillies versus Astros. As it turns out, you were right on both teams.
Yeah.
So in
Obviously, did you have any doubt?
yes, because I picked the other two teams in both series. Yes, of course I had doubt. But in case you missed it, Phillies beat the Padres 4-1 in that series. Astros just swept the Yankees. So we're looking at a World Series between the Phillies and the Astros that's going to start on Thursday. Coincidentally enough, that's when our next episode will be.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a little baseball talk on that one too. So Phillies versus Astros. What are we looking forward to in this series?
I think I don't think a lot of people are going to say this, but I'm going to say this. I think it's going to be a pitching battle for the most part. At least the first few games. You know, they both got their big dogs on the mound.
Sean, man, has got to be down bad. You're probably right, Shawnee. I'm probably a little on edge that his Yankees are at.
Yankees got swept, and I called it.
You did. And
from day one, I said the Astros were going to the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
When we first did, you know, the
our
MLB.
first preliminary predictions, you did say the Astros were making it all the way. And you were right. Good job. I was very wrong. I had the Blue Jays. But yeah, Soundman probably not very happy because also I saw this tweet and I ended up retweeting it because as a Red Sox fan, I love when the Yankees lose. There was a year-by-year breakdown of how the Yankees have done, and it said 2009, did they make the World Series? No. 2010, did they make the World Series? No. And I think you see where this is going, and it went all the way to 2022, and there was no every year. So, you know how that goes. Sorry,
I mean,
Yankees fans.
There's a lot of teams that have that going for them, too.
Yeah, but, we're the big bad Yankees, 27 championships. Oh, yeah. Okay. How many of them came since 2009? Big old goose egg. Shout out to the Red Sox.
Soundman said it's all good.
Yeah, sure. But, again, pitching battle. Get more into that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some just dominant pitching from these two teams in the past series. Astros especially. I mean, holding the Yankees to that
Yeah.
and giving
Sweeping
your
the
team
Yankees
the sweep.
is crazy.
And not only that, Astros had their bats rolling the last couple games.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we'll see that carry over along with fresh pitchers.
Yeah. They do get, quite a few days of rest. I think the last game ended yesterday, right? Astros versus Yankees ended yesterday. They have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. So that's 3 days for all the pitchers to rest, all the batters to rest, everybody to get, back in shape, back some rest before they go on to play the World Series. I would agree with the pitching standpoint. I think both teams have two amazing starters. For sure. I really like the Phillies 1-2 combo of Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. I know it's probably
The
a little
better
bit
Nola.
That's a little bit LSU biased with Aaron, but I think Zach Wheeler played really, really well in the game he played for the Phillies. So, I think this is going to be a really good series. Both teams have great players on both sides of the ball.
Both teams are red hot.
Both teams are very hot. I think the hottest player, though, is Bryce Harper. 5
postseason home runs.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, with a name like Bryce, how could you be bad?
Okay.
But yeah, I'm liking both. I like the way both these teams are playing. I think it's going to be a really good series. Shabby P.
Very low scoring.
Yeah, I think there might be one random game where you see like that 3v3, 4v4 matchup where it's like, 8-6, 9-6, something like that, where it'll be a higher scoring game. But when you see the aces facing off against each other, whether it's Nola or Wheeler versus Verlander, who's probably going to win the AL Cy Young Award, it's probably going to be like a 2-1 or a 3-2 type matchup. I don't see it being very high scoring, especially within the earlier games. So Shabby P brought up a point that I would like us to talk about for a second. I think Judge might go to a different team next year, he says.
And Soundman agrees.
Soundman does agree. What do you think about that? Aaron Judge leaving the Yanks.
There's a lot of people who want him for a good reason.
I mean, he is going to win MVP this year.
He can swing a bat.
Very well. Except for when he strikes out, which is a lot. But when he makes contact, that thing flies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him, slider outside. It looks like he barely made contact. And you're like, oh, he flied out. And then you see him look up, put the bat down, and start jogging. You're like, no way, that's out. And then sure enough, it's like out by like 30,
Gone.
40 feet.
Not Kyle Schwarber out when he hit the ball like 448 or whatever it was the other day.
They projected it 484.
Oh, I'm a little dyslexic sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But
yeah.
That was a
Aaron Judge
shot.
is a damn good player. I would love him to leave the Yankees. I would absolutely love that for my Red Sox. Gives us less competition as long as he leaves the AL East in general. Get him out of the division. But if you do see Aaron Judge leave, where do you think he would go?
oh, I think it might be a little too early to tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, big off season. Probably going to have a lot of teams give him an offer.
Yeah. Do you think Aaron Judge is the type of guy to chase money, or do you think he's more the guy to just, try to play on the best baseball team he can?
We've seen a trend recently of a lot of baseball players, unless it's the Dodgers. I think it's been trending to them chasing the bag more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree.
So with him, it's kind of hard to tell because,
And as a Red Sox fan, I don't like the Yankees, but I don't have a problem with Aaron Judge. Like, his attitude, I've never found him to be like a super cocky or super
I was about to say, it's almost like he's a robot.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't show much, it doesn't, at least from, looking in as a fan, doesn't look like he has much passion for the game. That's why I don't see him going to a team that he wants to win on. I think he just wants money.
See, and I would take the opposite perspective. I don't know if Aaron Judge is the guy who's going to go chase a bag. Like, to me, it seems like Aaron Judge is kind of like that quiet, I'm just going to do what I need to do type guy. And those guys you typically don't see chase money, I wouldn't say. Like, I think more of the chasing money type guys are like I'm the best, and I'm going to get as much as I can.
Yeah, it can go either way because some of them are clout chasing money, some of them are clout chasing awards.
Yeah, very true. Soundman and Strawby P, make sure to drop y'all predictions of where Aaron Judge is going to be in the chat so we can talk about that in the next couple minutes.
I hope Soundman says the Mets.
I hope he does too. But give me a team. Just off the dome. We're called off the dome for a reason. Where do you think Aaron Judge is going to be next season? And he could stay with the Yankees. You can predict that as well.
I definitely don't see him staying with the Yankees. I mean, I'm sure Soundman would love it.
Oh yeah, he
doesn't think so either.
No, he doesn't.
There's a lot of teams in the run. I mean, I'd love to see him go to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Not the White Sox, though.
No, because of course you'd love to see him go to your team.
Well, yeah. Would you like to see him go to your team?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I really.
Nothing in the brain, huh?
Shawnee can see the White Sox.
Oh, that would suck for you.
Shawnee just lost points for me.
Oh no.
Honestly, and it really pains me to say this, but with all those players retiring, he might end up with the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. That's the team I didn't even think about. There's three trains of thought for me. One, he could be exactly what I'm saying. He's a guy who just, he's kind of like you were saying, he's just a robot. And if he really is like that, I think he might stay with the Yankees. I think he's just going to see, hey, here's what they offered. Good enough for me. I'll take it. I'll stay with the team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have the talent.
Mm-hmm. I think my second train of thought is he could be exactly what you said as far as chasing the money. If he's chasing the money, the Dodgers or the Mets are going to give him the biggest contract.
Yeah. That's kind of why I went with the Cardinals, because I know they just freed up a lot of money, and they do have a pretty good roster. I mean, they were ranked, third?
Yeah, they were I think they were the third seed, and they were the third or the fifth seed, because them and the Phillies played each other. One was the 3, one was the 5. So, one of the two. But, I would say Dodgers or Mets, as if he goes the chasing the money route. And then my third one, which is the one I'm actually going to go with, because this is what I kind of want to see.
The Marlins.
Absolutely not. That's disgusting. I want to see a team spend up to get a third guy to surround their other 2 stars. And there's 2 teams I could see doing that. One in the NL, one in the AL. My NL team I could see doing that is the Atlanta Braves. They lost Freddie Freeman, who won an MVP. and they have tons of young guys who they've extended within the past year, like 5 or 6 different guys that they've extended within the past year. Austin Riley, Marcelo Zuna, Ronald Acuna, Ozzy Albies, all these guys. They're not afraid to extend them.
You know who is afraid to extend their guys?
Don't say it.
Boston.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, I wish he was wrong, but he's right. Either Raffy or Xander is going to stay with us, not both.
Yep.
So we'll talk about the Red Sox, I promise. But the NL team I could see is the Braves, and the AL team I could see is the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, 2 of the best players in baseball, but somehow can't make the playoffs because the rest of their team stinks.
Yeah.
So one way to fix that is get a guy who wins games. Aaron Judge has won games in this league, and he's won MVPs, and he's won awards. So I think the Angels are a team that could see Aaron Judge come there, especially if they offer him a good amount of money. I don't know anything about the Angels and how they work their salary cap, or there is no salary cap in the MLB, but how they work their payroll. I don't know how they do it, but I could see them paying up for a guy like Judge, and I think I'd really like them to pay up for a guy like Judge. I think that would really complete their team and put them to where they want to be. So I'm going Angels or Braves. That's my prediction. You had Cardinals. So it looks like Shabby P said White Sox, like you said, and then Soundman said the Dodgers. If the Dodgers get Aaron Judge, I'm going to be so mad.
How do they have that much money?
Okay, so I actually just wrote a paper on this today, so let me explain it to you. So baseball has no salary cap,
Yes.
right? They have a luxury tax. So if you hit that luxury tax, you have to pay a certain percentage over what you paid. So let's say the luxury tax I think this year was at $240 million. So if the Dodgers spend $300 million and they're a first-time offender, they only have to spend 10% of what they went over, and that's their luxury tax. Well, the Dodgers are a team that have been doing it for years and years and years, and once you hit in a certain amount, you have to pay like 35%, then up to 70%. So if the Dodgers owner has enough money to pay 70% of however much he goes over the luxury tax, and he doesn't have a problem handing it out, that's all they can do. So if he has no problem spending that much money, then he can spend that much money. That's the best part about being in a big market and having a rich owner. Kind of like you're seeing with the NBA too, like with Golden State. They are not afraid to pay people, and that's how they get people.
Yeah.
So if the Dodgers feel like spending money, they'll spend money and they'll get their guys. That's how they have Freddie Freeman and still have Clayton Kershaw and have acquired guys like Mookie Betts.
I was waiting for it.
But yeah, so Soundman, I could definitely see the Dodgers going get Aaron Judge. I could see him going to that team, but I like him to go to either the Angels or the Braves.
Okay.
But that was a good little segment. I like talking about that. But getting back to the World Series starts on Thursday. We're gonna see this one. I think it's gonna be good. What is your prediction? Who's gonna win, and how many games will it take them?
Astros in 5.
Wow. See, here I am talking about how close the series is, and you only got the Phillies winning one game.
A gentleman's sweep.
Gentleman sweep, just.
I think the games are going to be close.
Mm-hmm. But the Astros will find a way to win them all. They did that with the Yankees too.
Exactly.
I think they won like 3 of their 4 games by 1 run or something. Something like that. I know the first 2 they won by 1 run. So, we've seen the Astros pull out close games, so they could definitely do it against the Phillies. But you've been right all along. So naturally, I should go along with you.
But
That way we can both be right.
Because you're dumb.
I am not dumb, but I'm also not going with you. I'm going to say the Phillies are going to win the World Series because they are hot. And I like an underdog stories. Like, I love an underdog story. And I think the Phillies are that underdog story this year.
I think Shawnee beat you to it.
Shawnee, give me some time. But yeah, I'm going to say the Phillies win it in 6, which is the same thing Shawnee just said. But I had it written down first, Shawnee. So yeah, I'm taking Phillies in 6. I love Bryce Harper, not only because his name is Bryce, but because he is a dog. Kyle Schwarber, former Red Sox, always going to cheer for him. Aaron Nola, former Philly, always going to cheer for him.
Former Philly.
A former LSU Tiger, excuse me. My brain's getting a little messed up. But and then like I said, I love Zach Wheeler too, pitcher for the Phillies. So
I love it. Everybody's disagreeing with me once again.
So give me the Phillies 4-2, which means the Astros are going to sweep. Soundman said there is no World Series this year. Yeah, that's how Red Sox fans feel every year. So give it the program. But yeah, I'll take Phillies in 6. So the Astros are definitely going to win. And I know Mr. Lottober's taking the Phillies too.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the Phillies just like I do. So Philadelphia for the win. Moving on from baseball to a sport that's starting to ramp up. Just got started last week, but it is
Starting
hot.
to disappoint me already.
Yeah, a little bit, especially after last night. The New Orleans Pelicans started off 2-0 against Brooklyn and Charlotte, 2 convincing wins. And then last night, they were down almost all game, went down by 17 at one point in the fourth quarter, somehow made it to OT, and then ended up losing the game by 1 point against the Utah Jazz.
The Utah Jazz, after preseason, so like, you know, after preseason power rankings came out, and they were 30th.
Yeah.
They
last.
were 3-0.
Dead last. They are 3-0 right now. I don't like it. It's kind of like the
Giants.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Kind of reminds me of the Giants. With the Giants in the NFL are 6-1 right now, which we're going to get into in a second. But yeah, Giants are 6-1 right now. Nobody expected them to be good, and the Jazz are 3-0. Nobody expected them to be good. So kind of seeing some parallels there. But yeah, like I was saying, the Pels lost by 1 in overtime to a team that nobody expected to be good, unfortunately. But I will give them a little bit of leeway because they were without Brandon Ingram for most of the game, and Zion didn't play half the fourth quarter in any of overtime. So we were without our 2 best players. However, C.J. McCollum showed out.
Reese is so mad at you right now.
He should be. Had 28 points and 12 assists. One of only 2 Pelicans last night to have a positive plus-minus. Usually you would think that would be Herb Jones as the other guy, but it was not. It was Larry Nance.
Ooh.
I think the reason we saw Larry Nance so much last night is because JV had a terrible game, which is crazy coming off that Hornets game where he looked absolutely phenomenal. Led the team in scoring and rebounds. Had like 30 and 17, I think. So he looked great. And then he comes out this game as a defensive liability and only scores like 2 points. So
You win some, you lose some.
yeah, you're gonna get that. But I know you said you're really disappointed with the Pels. I am disappointed that we lost, but I'm not worried about us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just worried that the injury bug from the Saints is carrying over to the Hornets already.
Pelicans. The Pelicans, not the Hornets. We're not the Hornets anymore.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But yeah, unfortunately you are right. 3 of our starters are questionable for tomorrow's game. Or 2 of our starters are questionable for tomorrow's game. Brandon Ingram already ruled out because he does have a concussion. So he has to start the NBA concussion protocol, which cannot start until 24 hours after last game time.
Oh, maybe Miami should learn something from that.
Shout out to the Dolphins and Tua. But yeah, unfortunately we're not healthy, which we talked about when we talked about NBA with Rebo, is that if the Pelicans are healthy, they're really good. But they've got to make sure they stay healthy. And we're already seeing our 2 best players go down. Yeah. We had a couple positives, though, of course. Like I said, C.J. McCollum, absolutely fantastic. The defensive lineup down the stretch in the fourth quarter, they did what they needed to do. Willie Green put in guys who were strictly defenders on the floor in the fourth, and that's how we got back from down 17 with only 9 minutes left to send it to OT. We had Herb Jones out there. We had Najee Marshall out there. Larry Nance was out there. So we had really, really good defensive players to try to bring us back. And it worked to a point. Trey Murphy also went off in the fourth. I think he hit 3 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. That's 9 points right there. So, you know, it was a tough loss for sure, but I saw grit and grind from this Pelicans team. So even without their best players, I feel like we can still keep afloat, which is not something I would have said in years past.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I love this Pelicans team, so I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say that I think they're going to be okay no matter what. Hopefully Brandon Ingram's not out too long. Hopefully Zion, he's questionable for tomorrow night. Hopefully he can play, and if not, hopefully he gets that one game rest and he's back ready to go. We are taking on the Mavericks tomorrow night, so even if we are healthy, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
We just saw Luka absolutely destroy the Grizzlies. I think the Mavs beat the Grizzlies by 41 points or something, and Luka went off. But he is the NBA's golden boy, so we got to be careful for those fouls. But yeah, like I said, Pels are 2-1. Not too worried about them. I think they look really good. They're still top 10 in almost every statistic. So looking good for the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans is a basketball city. Getting into a segment that we do every episode. We're going to do a little bit of recap from last week. This is B&B's Bets. We picked some road dogs on the last episode.
Yes, sir.
Did you hit on yours?
Absolutely.
Who'd you pick?
The Seahawks, who were +5 on the spread. They won 37-14.
Yeah, they smoked the Chargers, unfortunately, because Chargers were my Super Bowl pick before the season.
Kenneth Walker had 168 rushing yards
And 2 touchdowns.
and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker is a dog. He is very, very good. We're seeing a lot of good rookies this year. I think we expected that because it was a really, really good draft class.
Like all around.
in our opinion. Like it was one of those draft classes where it's not super top heavy, but the depth is crazy. Like you were seeing guys, like you didn't see anybody in the top 10 who you were like, this is the NFL's next superstar. But you were seeing guys go in the 4th round who might have went in the 2nd in other years.
Yeah.
So it was a really good draft class, and they're showing out.
Tons of talent.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker, very, very good. Damian Pierce for the Texans, very good. Breece Hall was awesome for the Jets until he tore his ACL.
He's out for the rest of the season.
He is out for the rest of the season. I know you have him in at least one fantasy league, so that's unfortunate for you.
I think I beat you in that league this week, right?
I'm up by 2, and we each have one player tonight, and they're
yeah.
both individual defensive players. If y'all don't have IDP in your fantasy leagues, don't. It's weird.
I hate it.
But yeah, I have Matthew Judon, and you have Eddie Jackson, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a close one.
He's the number 2 safety.
Yeah, and Matthew Judon's the number 6 edge rusher, so should be a good one. But yeah, I loved Breece Hall coming out of college. His name is also close to Bryce, so I guess it's another bias there. But no, he was really, really good coming out of Iowa State. Reminded me of Jonathan Taylor. And then he was playing absolutely phenomenal this season until he tore his ACL. So prayers up to Breece Hall. Hopefully he can get back healthy and have that same explosiveness
Wait.
post-injury.
Just remembered. Dustin has him.
Oh, Dustin. He's like 2-5, and now he's gonna like win one game the rest of the year probably. Poor Dustin. Couldn't draft the team, and now they can't stay healthy. But anyway, back to the road dogs. I had the Steelers. They played last night. I got scared for a little bit because that offense looked terrible. However, their defense stepped up, so the road dog ended up hitting. The spread was at 7.5. They only lost by 6, so
They should have won.
they should have won. However, Kenny Pick decided to throw 3 pick.
You think you're funny, huh?
I know I'm funny, huh? But yeah, that was. If y'all didn't watch the Sunday Night Football game, that was another one of those 2022 primetime games where you're like, this isn't even fun to watch. It was just like, It was rainy. It was muggy. There was tons of turnovers. Steelers dropped 4 interceptions. Easy ones, too. Like, just one of them was like right here. One of them was like a perfect drop in the bucket, and they just dropped picks everywhere. So it was just a gross game to watch.
Yeah. Especially if you were playing against Miami's defense going into that game up by 4 points.
It sounds like you took that personally. Did that happen to you?
Yeah, I love Miami, but I hate their defense.
Sorry to hear that, bud. But
We'll bounce back.
yeah. So we both hit on our bets. That's a good little time for both of us to hit on our road dogs. You know who didn't hit on their bet? Sound Man.
Yikes.
That's literally what I wrote. I didn't even write what his legs were because I just wrote yikes because I think he missed on 3 of them. I know he had the Falcons spread against the Bengals. They lost by like 14, and it was like 6.5. He had 49ers money line over the Chiefs. Chiefs beat them by like 28. He hit on the Seahawks Chargers. He did hit on that. And then I don't remember what the fourth leg was, but obviously.
I think it was Cowboys Lions.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys, Lions. I think. And then, did he have Cowboys money line? Yeah, I think he had either Cowboys money line or Cowboys spread. Either way, it hit because my Lions stink. But yeah, that sucked for Sound Man. It was a good looking parlay. Had really nice odds, over 900, but didn't hit for the man.
Speaking of parlays, we got a few
Oh, we got a few for when
tonight. Obviously,
tonight Monday Night Football.
Bears versus Pats.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get in depth right after these bets. So why don't you start us off with a good little parlay for tonight?
All right. To give them some backstory.
Okay.
I came straight here after work,
Mm-hmm.
so I called up Bryce.
Yep.
Asked him what I needed for tonight.
Yep.
He told me to make a parlay. So
This was quite literally off the dome.
off the dome, without even looking at odds or anything, we got Patriots money line.
Okay.
The under, which is at 39.5. David Montgomery touchdown. And Mac Jones to throw for more than 210 passing yards.
Now, before I even looked at the odds, when I saw you wrote that, I was like, it's a pretty good parlay. At least 3 out of the 4 will hit, in my opinion. I think it's pretty good.
I thought I was playing it very safe by saying all these things.
Yeah. FanDuel disagreed.
Yeah, the odds on that are plus 25-23.
Over 2,000 on the odds on that one, which I still don't understand what. I think it's the David Montgomery touchdown that gets you there because he was like 4th highest odds to score a touchdown. But yeah, that's a pretty good parlay, and it gets insane odds. So
I'm gonna rock with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you bet $10 on it, you get 252.
I'm definitely gonna rock with it.
Yeah, for sure. That's a pretty good looking parlay. I also made a parlay for tonight, obviously, and I named my parlay tonight
Of course.
because I'm like that, and I centered it around one guy on one of the teams who I think is really, really good. He finally got the chance to show himself this year, and he's playing very well. Ramondre Stevenson. So the name of my parlay tonight is Ramondre is my compadre. It doesn't perfectly rhyme, but I like the way it sounds. So my parlay for tonight, I agree on the Patriots money line. I have Ramondre Stevenson to rush for 50 or more yards. He's done that every week for the past 3 weeks. I have Ramondre Stevenson over 15 receiving yards. Seems like he does that every week as well. And then I have a Ramondre Stevenson anytime touchdown. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw him score 2 touchdowns. And also, the Patriots won 38-15 last week. So I like them to score some points against a porous Bears defense tonight. So I'm going to go with Patriots money line, Ramondre Stevenson over 50 rushing yards, Ramondre Stevenson over 15 receiving yards, and anytime touchdown from Ramondre Stevenson. And those odds are at plus 365. So not nearly as high as your odds, but still a little bit of cash can be made.
Are you out of breath from saying Ramondre Stevenson 8 times?
No, it's a good name. Ramondre Stevenson. It just sounds like an NFL name. Like with a name like Ramondre Stevenson, you're gonna make some headlines. So yeah, plus 365 on that one. And then of course, we can't do a betting segment without Soundman. He is one of the best bettors we know.
Except on Thursday Night Football.
Hopefully he's better on Monday night. But what's Soundman's bet tonight?
He took the Bears spread, which is at 8.5.
That's a very, very large spread for a primetime game.
And the over, which is at 40.
Okay.
For plus 264.
I mean, it goes against your parlay. So one of you will hit the over or the under. Because one of you took the under, one of you took the over. So somebody's going to be right. I'm curious to see which one.
It'll probably be both of us being wrong.
What?
As in, like, so I had Patriots money line and the under.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots will win, but they'll score more than 40.
Oh, so y'all will both lose the bets?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of how that works, huh? But yeah, 8.5 is a really large spread. I know it's,
The Bears.
yeah, it's the Bears, and the Patriots won by 23 last week against the Browns. So,
And
like, it
then
makes
shut
sense.
out the Lions the week before.
Yeah, 29-0. Crazy. Damn it, Lions. Come on, figure it out. But, I mean, it makes sense to why the spread's that far apart, but still a lot. So, I mean, I don't mind taking 8.5 points.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the Bears win games they're not supposed to. So, I don't mind it, Sound Man. Hopefully it hits for you, bud. As long as the Patriots still win it, I'm okay if the Bears keep it close. Real quick, we're going to run through who we picked on the last episode through the NFL slate, and what our records were on the week. So, first game, Lions at Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys.
I've also picked the Cowboys.
Colts at Titans. I picked the Colts.
I picked the Titans.
Giants at Jags. I picked Giants.
I picked the Jags.
Browns at Ravens. I picked Ravens.
Me too.
Falcons at Bengals. I picked Bengals.
Me too.
Packers at Commanders. I picked Packers.
Me too.
Buccaneers at Panthers. I picked Bucks.
Yeah.
Texans at Raiders. Picked Raiders.
Yeah.
Jets at Broncos. Picked Jets.
Jets.
Jets. Seahawks at Chargers. I unfortunately picked the Chargers.
Idiot. Hawks.
You were so mean tonight. What is this? I don't like this.
Had a bad day at work.
Chiefs at 49ers. I picked the Chiefs.
49ers.
Idiot. Steelers at Dolphins. I picked Steelers.
Dolphins.
So I ended up going 7 for 12 on the week. Not too bad, over 500.
Huh.
I missed the
imagine.
Colts and Titans. I missed the Colts and Titans game. I missed the Packers and Commanders, which we both missed. We both missed the Bucks and the Panthers. And then I ended up missing on the Seahawks beating the Chargers and the Dolphins beating the Steelers. How'd you do?
I went 8 for 12.
Oh, one better. You're so cool. But yeah, you good for you, bud. Good for you. I went 7 for 12. You
Thank you.
went 8 for 12. So we both did pretty decent based on how this NFL season has gone. It's been very unpredictable.
Yeah, speaking about this NFL season, I found out a crazy stat today.
I love a good crazy stat.
The NFC East is the best division in the NFC right now.
Best division in football, arguably.
The NFC is bad.
Very bad.
Outside
Extremely
of the
bad.
NFC East, there are only 2 teams with winning records.
Oh,
The Vikings and the Seahawks.
the Vikings?
Wow. Everyone else is 500 or below.
That's and the entire NFC South. I think the Panthers are currently winning the NFC South at 3-4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is bad. The NFC South is terrible. I mean, 3 teams are 3-4, and 1 team is 2-5, and we are that one team.
Any team could come out of the NFC South.
And literally any team at this point because they all stink. So we'll see how that goes. As a Saints fan, we obviously hope it's the black and gold, but they're all bad. So, the NFC East have been nicknamed the NFC least for a while.
Very long time.
Because it's always like 2 teams fighting to win the division, and they're only going like 8-8 or 9-8 now because of the 17-game season. But like, it's always like the teams are fighting to win the division, and they're still not that good. This year, we've got the Eagles, who are the only undefeated team. We've got the Giants at 6-1, whether it's a real 6-1 or not. We've got the Cowboys at 5-2, and then the Manders just beat the Packers. So I think they only have like 2 or 3 wins on the season, but still, they've shown they can win games.
Yeah.
So-
we got the NFC Beast this year.
NFC least to NFC beast. I like that. So we'll see how that goes. I know we were both big Eagles guys going into the season, so that's starting to pay off.
15 wins.
15 wins. Shout out Nick Sirianni. All right. You are what your record says you are, is what Soundman says, which, to be fair, he's not wrong.
Champions.
Doesn't matter how you
Undefeated.
doesn't matter how you win games. All that matters is that you get a +1 in the W's.
Yep.
So Giants may be a fugazi, but for now they are 6-1. Playoffs. Can't even win a game. Speaking about winning games, tonight we've got one more in Week 7 of the NFL. Patriots and Bears. We've talked about it for a little bit here, just to give you a little bit of breakdown. Patriots are favored by 8.5. Like we said, the over/under is at 39.5 or 40, depending on the app. either way, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So the implied score is 24-15 for the Patriots to win, based on the over/under and the point spread, which, fair enough. But big news tonight for the Patriots. Mac Jones is back. No more Bailey
happy
Zip on the
about
ball
it.
Zappy. Why are you not happy?
Because I love Bailey Zapp.
Bailey Zapp looks more like Mac Jones than Mac Jones does. It's kind of weird. A lot of people were saying this whole Bailey Zapp Mac Jones situation was another Drew Bledsoe Tom Brady, which I'm just saying, if Bailey Zapp were truly Tom Brady, I don't know if Mac Jones will be playing tonight. So we'll see.
Give it time.
Give it time. But no, the Patriots, they've been on a little bit of a heater the past couple weeks.
The entire AFC East has.
Yeah, if the Patriots win tonight, the entire AFC East will be above 500. I think Zapp's Potato Chips missed a great marketing opportunity.
Oh, definitely.
Bailey Zapp's. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been really good. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. I like that. Good job, Sound Man. But yeah, like I was saying, Patriots, if they win tonight, the entire AFC East will be above 500.
So did who else missed a marketing opportunity? Bailey's on Dewey.
Oh. What if they made an andouille flavored Zapp's chip called the Bailey Zapp? Why don't we need to run these companies? I mean, we should literally be a marketing firm at this point.
So much better than they are.
Ah, well, You know who else is way better than somebody else? The Patriots and the Bears. Patriots.
Right, the Bears are way better.
No, okay, buddy.
This is what Lot would be
is what
saying.
Lot would say. Sorry, Lot, but the Bears are not winning tonight. I will go on record to say that, and I will look stupid if the Bears win.
Again.
What is your problem? But yeah, if the Bears win, I will look stupid. However, the New England Patriots have scored 38 and 38 in the past game, 29 the game before that. So 67? Is that right on the math? Yeah, 67 points, which we all know 67 is a great number. But yeah, they've won their past two games by a combined total of 67-15. So it's not looking good for a Bears team that lost last week 12-7. And with a team that you don't see many bright spots on between their quarterback, their biggest bright point right now is their backup running back in Khalil Herbert. He's kind of like...
Well, both their running backs.
Well, yeah, but David Montgomery was out for a little bit. That's why I'm saying Herbert. He looked really good in the 3 weeks that Montgomery was out. It's kind of their biggest bright point right now is their run game. And
I mean,
Patriots
their
have a
defense
really
is
good...
playing pretty good. They're not getting
blown out. Right. They allowed 29 to the Vikings, only 12 to the Manders over the past 2 weeks. So their defense isn't absolutely terrible, but I think the Patriots the Patriots defense is better than the Bears defense.
Well, yeah.
And I think the Patriots offense is better than the Bears offense.
Correct.
So I'm feeling pretty good about the Patriots tonight. How are you feeling?
I want to hear your score prediction first.
Soundman says 28-24 Patriots. That's a high-scoring game.
That is a very high-scoring game.
It's a high-scoring game for these two teams.
For a Monday Night Football this year.
Monday Night Football this year between the Bears and the Patriots. 28-24 would be the most 2022 NFL season thing I've ever seen in my life. Because this year has been absolutely crazy. And, that does support his bet. So, he might be a little bit biased as to what he's picking. But, yeah, that would cover the plus 8.5 and the Patriots over. As long as the Patriots win, that's all I care about. Before we get into score predictions, give me your MVP for tonight. Who do you think is going to win the game for their respective team?
The Patriots defense.
Yeah, fair enough. What do you like about the Patriots defense?
They're playing the Bears.
Fair enough. Bears offense hasn't shown much production outside their run game, especially Justin Fields. I'm not a Justin Fields guy. I thought he was, he looked good coming out of college, but he's kind of one of those guys who got put into a bad situation.
And it's going to be very hard for him to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not he's talented is it has nothing to do with how the Bears are playing right now.
Yeah,
he may be the most talented quarterback in the world, but when you're on the Chicago Bears. So that would be kind of disrespectful if he did it, but he's going to do it anyway because Bill Belichick doesn't care.
He has no emotion.
Zero. So I think tonight's MVP is a guy I've talked about quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, I wonder who it's going to be. Can we get any guesses in the chat as to who Bryce thinks tonight's MVP will be?
He is my compadre. His name doesn't rhyme with compadre, but it's close enough. It's Ramondre
It's like
Stevenson.
a slant rhyme.
Yeah, slant rhyme. You know, orange and door hinge. But, yeah, I'm going Ramondre Stevenson as my MVP tonight. I think he's going to have an absolutely great game. What's your score prediction?
I have, to support my bet,
Mhm.
Patriots 20, Bears 10.
Okay, so 30 total points. That would hit the under. Unfortunately for Soundman, the Bears would not hit their spread. So 20 to 10, I don't mind that at all.
We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Rap sheet, Ian Rappaport tweeted 12 minutes ago.
Mhm.
The Jets are making a big trade,
Oh, wow.
acquiring Jaguars running back James Robinson
What?
to help replace injured running back Brees Hall.
Wow, that's great for your fantasy team. I wonder who gave you James Robinson.
Yeah, I wonder who gave you TJ Hawkinson.
So what did they trade? Is there anything about the return? Or just that James Robinson's on his way to New York?
Just says draft pick compensations going back to the Jags. Jets are trading a 6th-round pick that could become a 5th to Jacksonville.
That's it?
Did you see what Christian McCaffrey got traded for?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, wow, that's crazy to me. I don't know what idiot would trade Robinson. Great question, Sound Man. Some stupid head must have traded James Robinson.
2 of them.
Yeah, especially that other guy. He's more of an idiot than I am. But, yeah, James Robinson. Wow, I love that for both of them. Both James Robinson. I like that for both James Robinson and for the Jets. And Travis Etienne for the Jaguars just had a great game this past game. He had like 112 yards and a touchdown. So I think that kind of plays into the Jaguars. They're like, we know we have a guy in Etienne. James Robinson, also a guy. We can get a little bit of return for him. Jets need the help. It all kind of adds up. And slander. Oh, I didn't know you were watching, Rebo. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for talking. Rebo, hurry up and give a score prediction for tonight before we wrap this up, and I give my score prediction.
You didn't do that yet?
No, I'm about to do it. You broke in with the broken news. Broken news. But so I'm going. I also think the Bears are just going to score 10 points tonight. That just sounds like a Bears number right there. They'll kick a field goal. They'll score a touchdown. But I'm going with the Patriots to score 26. So we both have the Patriots winning. Both have the Bears scoring 10, but I'm going 26 to 10 rather than 20 to 10. Soundman's on one tonight. But Reese said 12 to 9. Also makes sense. I could definitely see it happening.
He also didn't give us a winner.
No, he did. I'm assuming the Patriots. I really hope he says the Patriots, because if he says the Bears,
He's
he's never coming back on this show.
And you're a co-owner with him in fantasy football.
We might have to change that. I'll buy him out. But, yeah, so we've all got the Patriots winning tonight. Monday Night Football. Should be an interesting one, to say the least.
Yeah.
Whether it's high scoring or low scoring, we have yet to see, but you will see in
Or
about
no
15
scoring.
minutes. No scoring, imagine. That would be gross. But, yeah, Patriots are going to win it tonight. We hope everybody enjoyed this episode of the Off the Dome Sports Podcast. Thank you to Radio House Studios and newrockradio.us, as well as newcountryradio.us, for letting us speak our mind, give our hot takes off the dome. We appreciate everybody for watching in. We appreciate everybody for, whether you're live or watching back, we really appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Off the Dome Sports Podcast. That's the best point to see what we're doing and when we're doing it. Next episode will be on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit of baseball, talk some Thursday night football, and just wrap up sports in general. We love sports and we love you. Thanks for listening.
Hold on. Read the chat.
Read the chat. Oh, good point. So before you go, Wednesday we will have Silver Dose in studio, a local band.
Great band.
great band. They play some really good music. Just released an album not too long ago. So go ahead, listen in to their album on Spotify, Silverdose, and then make sure to check out Radio House Studios on Wednesday. They'll be live in Studio A. So really good band, really good people in the band, and really good people surrounding the band. It's going to be a really good time, so make sure to tune in on Wednesday. Ricky,
The drummer.
Guz, good people. So
Ricky used to be in my band.
Oh. Shout out Ricky. I don't know you personally, Ricky, but seem like a good guy. But yeah, make sure to check out Silverdose on Wednesday. They'll be live streaming on the Radio House Studios account right here out of Studio A, same place we do this podcast. Once again, thank you to Radio House Studios. Thank you to newrockradio.us, newcountryradio.us, and everybody for watching. We thank you, we love you, and we will see you next time.
Straight off the dome. Can y'all quit acting like y'all didn't know? Yeah, took a break, but better hold your nose. Yeah, I've been cooking, don't inhale smoke. Been busy dropping hooks. Peter Pan can't leave his home. Ay, yeah, I prefer the backseat. I prefer a taxi. Who needs all the limelight? That be too distracting. Seen too many people reach the top just to lose it all for me to think that this be